I appear alongside Mr. Moi, Ms. Gashero, Mr. Kamau, and Ms. Fatma, and Mr. Kerry. The purpose of the mention, Your Honor, was to confirm Your Honor, to confirm status reports. Your Honor, as we stand here, the file is yet to be forwarded to the DPP for advice, for the final advice, Your Honor. Just yesterday, I was called by the Deputy Director dealing with the issues, Your Honor, at hand, indicating to me that the file has not been forwarded to the DPP. Your Honor, equally, I've not received the file. The director in charge of, the Deputy Director, Your Honor, in charge of county prosecutions, county and regulatory prosecutions, Your Honor. In the circumstances, we are unable as the prosecution team here to go to make any other application. We request, Your Honor, for mention in 2 weeks' time. And the same date, Your Honor, we wish to have the IOs in court to communicate any challenges or any difficulty as to why they've not forwarded that file. All the other files, Your Honor, relating to the demonstrations were already forwarded to the DPP, and they were forwarded yesterday, in exclusion of this one file. So for that reason, the DPP has no file to act upon to allow the investigators forward the same file, Your Honor. Therefore, we can have this matter mentioned in 2 weeks' time. That would be our application.
Your Honor, we are opposed to that application. I'll address a few issues. My colleague Patrick will mention a few issues why we are opposed to that application. Your Honor, it's common knowledge from the proceedings in this court that the respondents were arrested on 7th of July and arraigned in court on 8th of July. Your Honor, when the matter came for hearing for the application to detain the respondent, the ODPP was quite clear that were to be held for 14 days, pending completion of investigation. Your Honor, the court on 10th of July released the respondents on very serious board terms and directing them to cooperate with the investigators, which they have done to date without fail. Anytime they have been called upon, they have always showed up to the offices of the DPP. Your Honor, if you look at the dates from 7th of July to today, which is 26th of August, that's a period of almost 50 days. 50 days. So the question which begs, why was there a rush to arrest them, bring them to court on holding charge, and they were not ready for that, for that progress of the case? It's our view that the application made before you is just to continue tormenting and antagonizing the respondents. They are citizens of this country. They work in this country. They have always complied with the court conditions. So there's no plausible reasons which has been given to warrant extension of that time. The DPP has mentioned that the IOP summoned on 5th will come to court in 2 weeks' time. He's here in court. You can take the standard of the progress made with the investigations. Why wait for 2 weeks and he's already here in court? Further, Your Honor, and that one of the Constitution, the respondents entitled to one right to privacy and own property, and some of the items which were recovered, which were seized during the arrest, private properties, for example, mobile phones, a motor vehicle, which I think has no direct connection with the investigations which are going on, and would respectively urge this honorable court to make an order that the motor vehicle which was seized, being driven by the first accused person and being a Range Rover motor vehicle with foreign registration number, I can give it to the court, XC X118W, XC X118W, a black Range Rover sports motor vehicle, which was being driven by XCX118W, which is even not part of the inventory which has been produced in this court, be released to the driver and a motorcycle for the third accused person. Let me get the number for the motorcycle. And a motorcycle KMGJ 420C, also being used to 420C, be released to the then respondents. And I think the court is privy that is his source of livelihood, and was educated to court by my colleague Mr. Kelogo in this court. Those items, one, are not in the inventory which was attached to in our view, they have no connection with the investigations which are being carried out, and respectively urge this honor for court to order their release to the respondents. Your Honor, I have information that KRA has cleared those vehicles. Interpol has cleared the same motor vehicle. There's no really real basis of continuing to hold the two items. With regards to the motor, to the phones belonging to the first respondent, Your Honor, and all of them, Your Honor, they were all submitted to the investigators. They are still holding them. I know there's even got a search warrant to examine them, and I think that's a matter we have mentioned just prior to this. We can still give them time until that application is heard, but at least for the motor vehicles, with respect to their, we get an order for their release, because they continued being held, we subject them to wastage laws, and even their where they are wastage. I will cede the floor to someone that will take it. Let's continue.
Yes, Your Honor, mine won't be much. I will just buttress what my senior has said. As much as we try and understand and sympathize with the ODPP's position, as my learned senior has said, I can see the investigating officer in court. I think it's proper, Your Honor, that he tells this court why they say the investigation has not been concluded, because Your Honor, as it has been submitted, since the day that the respondents were arrested, it's now close to 50 days. The application that we argued before you opposing the pre-trial detention of the respondents, the prosecution was praying for just 14 days. Your Honor, we came back on the 24th of July, and the court was gracious enough and added another 30 days. Your Honor, I think it's only fair that we leave this court knowing what is this that has happened that seems to stall these investigations. I think it's also fair that we leave this courtroom knowing how far have they gotten. Are they at 50%? Are they at 70%? Are they at 90%? How far are they? They need to be specific. So that our clients get out of this court knowing that it's a specific and a particular thing that they are waiting to be concluded. The last time we were before this court, Your Honor, the prosecution did indicate that there was some financial analysis that was going on. They also indicated that there was a cybercrime report that they were waiting for. And a report that they said was a security and I think a caustic. That is what appears in the proceedings. So I think it's proper that we get to know what is holding up these reports. Time is a very precious resource that the courts guide very jealously. It will be very unfortunate if we keep on coming to court, getting more days, and nothing is moving. This court should guide its time, its precious judicial time, jealously. And demand specific answers from the IO, Your Honor. It's bad as it is, Your Honor, that our clients continue living their lives with the anxiety, not knowing whether they get charged or not, with the anxiety that their properties are still in custody of the police. We are not to be specific for the first respondent, who is a member of parliament. 2 mobile phones and an iPad are in custody of the police. And the said iPad has his thesis. He's a master's student. He was supposed to make his presentation, but now he was not able to do so because the equipment was taken by the police. So it's PhD, I'm informed it's PhD, I'm sorry. So this thing, Your Honor, it's affecting their lives in many ways. And they are unable to continue with their lives. As it has been submitted, the third respondent is a boda rider. Since the day he was arrested till today, the said boda is in custody of the police. He can't earn a living. He's finding it very, very difficult to provide for his family. So, Your Honor, all in all, what you are saying is that we need specifics. We need the IO to tell us where he has reached, and we need the IO to tell us what is this that is holding them back. Because when we came before you for the application, they were very specific. They wanted 14 days. We came back, you were gracious enough, you gave them 30 more days. We need to know what is this that is prolonging this investigation. And we also need to know why are all the other files relating to the demonstrators that were arrested between 25th of June this year and 7th of July this year were forwarded to the ODPP, and only the file that involves the 3 respondents has not been forwarded to the ODPP. We need to get out of this place, Your Honor, having those answers. And I think the only person who can answer those questions is the IO. And he's a coach, Your Honor. So that's all for me. I'll have my son, Mr. Watuta, address the court.
You know, I don't need to say much. My colleagues have captured it very well. And I would just like to draw your attention to Article 157, Sub-Article 11, that makes provision on how the Office of the DPP should exercise its powers and discharge its mandate. And the Constitution says, in exercising the powers conferred by this article, the prosecutorial powers, the Director of Public Prosecution shall have regard to the public interest, the interest of the administration of justice, and the need to prevent and avoid abuse of the legal process. You know, we have people who have not been charged at all. Today, they have not been told that we have investigated this, and this is what we have not investigated. Yet, their lives for the almost 2 months have been put to a stop. Now, it is common knowledge, even for the DPP's office, if someone's mobile phone is taken away, and not 1, 2, iPad, and the motor vehicle, all of them taken away, that person has been grounded. So let us balance between conducting investigations, discharge of prosecutorial powers, and allowing people who have not been formally charged to live their lives. If the data has been extracted, there is nothing more to do with the phones. Let the phones be returned. Let the motor vehicle be returned. So that we don't stagnate someone's life in the name of investigations. Last time we were told investigations were 70%. Today we have not been told whether they are at 71 or 90%. So really, it means the process has stagnated. So we do not have a problem. Let them continue with the investigations, but let the lives of these people continue. That would be my humble request. Let those items be released, even as the investigations are done. If that one happens, they can come and seek more time as much as they want. But the life of these people should continue. And that's all.
Fine. This is marked as the last mention when the prosecution is expected to update the court on the progress of investigations and the issue of release of items confiscated from the respondents.
Very much.